For me, it's very special for a couple different reasons. I was brought in originally to this team back in the '06 timeframe to bring the energy and environmental policy kind of perspective, let's say. But in that, I was also always wearing the sustainability, this footprint kind of idea, carbon footprint, let's say. So in the very early design phases and conversations, it was always about what are the materials we're using. If we truly want to develop a vehicle that has the lowest impact on, energy and the environment, what options do we have? Let's look at the fabrics we're using in the interior. Let's look at not only the tailpipe emissions, which is regulated by corporate average fuel economy, let's look at more of the life cycle. So I always brought that conversation to the table. Let's look at the life cycle. So in what we have today, we did pretty well. Granted, there's some things that are expensive or not ready for prime time, so to speak, for the product, but it was always that constant drumbeat. What does this mean in the sustainability space? So I would say I was probably that individual. I think we hit the mark, perfectly in providing an energy diversity, energy security product and solution, and something that was for the customers fun to own and drive. And today, as I drive my Volt as a company car, it's amazing to have followed it from start to finish and have it so real. So that's why the Volt has been, it culminates my 18 plus years in General Motors very, very well in bringing together the policy elements, the technology innovation elements, the customer marketing and sales element, and really, as an engineer, suggests, you can do darn near anything you want to in your career. The traditional engineer, quote unquote, might be thought of as someone who spends a lot of time at their desk, working behind a computer, doing finite element mapping and structural design or something like this. That's not necessarily true. I've always believed that I'm maybe more of the unconventional engineer and someone who really likes to work with people and systems. And I believe an engineering degree is always at the core producing individuals that have the ability to problem solve. And with that, I think you can do darn near anything with your career. Once a Spartan, always a Spartan, it gave me what I needed, the foundation that I needed to do whatever I wanted to do. And yes, I chose to work for General Motors. At first I thought, no way, I'm not going to an automotive company. I wanted to design fighter aircraft. I had gotten my pilot's license during my PhD program, and that was just, I wanted to get a PhD and then go up in the space shuttle, do research, this kind of thing. And again, Michigan State offered that flexibility of an environment to be able to do that. So there is a lot of pride. And when individuals that I speak to, and I speak to a lot of young ladies who aren't necessarily sure if they should go into engineering or some technical type of education to provide for a career or opportunities, I just have a chat with them. You don't have to know what you want to do today. What do you have interests in? What gives you some value or some response back to your time put in? And I speak to them and suggest, if you get an engineering degree, and it could be from anywhere, but Michigan State is right here in our backyard. It's an excellent university. It's very, very well connected in the research space. If you get that engineering degree, you can go and do whatever you want to do. And that should be powerful enough to suggest to the individual, you should take a look at this, especially if they have any ability in the math and science. Now, if they don't, then it might be too much of a tough row to hoe, but a lot of individuals should be considering that, and I think you're seeing actually a shift in more ladies getting involved, not only in the first couple of years of engineering, but they're staying in the pipeline. They're staying in and they're getting their degree, and they're going on and doing, it could be marketing and sales. Wow, what do they have the ability to do? They have the ability to solve problems, and in some cases even see systems type problems and solutions that they can put together. So I think pride comes through in a lot of different aspects, the personal as well as the professional aspect. You always look back to, who's your alma mater? Spartan, green and white. If you want to put it into drive, and we'll take it for a spin. And if you want to feel the acceleration, you can step on it. You're welcome to. There you go. That's it.
Oh, that's impressive.
I have been privileged to learn and be amongst individuals, single individuals that I believe have been able to make a difference in not only their local space or even nationally, but I have learned that single individuals clearly can make a difference and can influence something worldly or global. It doesn't really matter what I'm working on at the time. I just happen to be an employee of General Motors today, but I hope to be perceived as being a part of a much larger milieu or society of contribution.